Right now, here, there are latest versions of JavaDB here. Right now, if you are using SQL or MySQL or anything, you can use as the database service. But here, I'm going to show you without installing any other software how to work with the Java database service, right? Along with the NetBeans IDE. Therefore, the version we are using for the DB is pretty old one. 10.2.2.0 because this version works with the previous version of NetBeans IDE and the latest version of Apache NetBeans as well. Right, therefore, when you are working alone, you could try with the latest versions of the Java DB as well, and you can check. Right now, here you have to search Java DB 10.2.2.0, and then right now you can download this 10.2.2.0. Right now you can see even that will support from 1.3 to higher versions of Java. Right now, even this will support for very old Java platforms. Right now you can see here based on the Java version you have, you could try 10.15 or 10.16 versions, but you can try in a different time. But here I'm going to work with 10.2.2.0, right? Because this is the database engine I want. That's it, right? And then you can download this the bin distribution, right? Here the first one is the bin distribution. You can click on this and download, and this will download a compressed file. Therefore, I want you to download this bin.zip. Right now, let me send it to you via chat, the link. Then you can download this. After you download, I want you to have you downloaded already? Have you downloaded that?
It's
Yes, right. Okay, then right now remember the place where you want to store. Right now I have kept that folder that I have unzipped it, uncompressed it, and thereafter I have copied that folder into where I have installed my Java JDK. Right, it doesn't matter where you have it. Right now, remember the path where you have it. Right, and thereafter now in my case, it's in the program files Java, and then this is the folder name. Right. Okay. Now what you have to do is you can go to services tab here. If you can't see the services tab from the Windows, you can select services, right? And then under the database, you can expand database, and then you will see Java DB, right? You will see Java DB, right? Then here you can click on the Java DB and then select properties. Right click on the Java DB and select properties, and then under the Java DB installation, locate the folder where you have copied. Now, what you have just downloaded and unzipped folder where you have put it now here. In my case, it's inside C program files Java, and this is the folder, right? Just locate the folder, right, for the Java DB installation. And then for the database location, whatever the databases we're going to create, in order to save those, you could create any folder. right? Even in your desktop, you can create a folder and then you can select that one. So anywhere, wherever you want to create the database, you can create a folder to save the databases and then browse that folder from here and then click OK, right? Thereafter, you can right click on the Java DB and select Start Serve. Check whether you can work it out. Okay. Are you okay up to this point? Or if you are struggling, let me know, please, quickly. Chatur, are you okay?
Okay, sir.
Manali, have you done up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. And Serini also okay?
Sir, I join now.
You join now. Okay, now I wanted you to download. How would you know that then? Okay, search for. Okay, I will send the link again quickly. I'm not going to repeat this again. Next time, Serini, join on time. Otherwise, we have to repeat everything again. No?
Sorry, sir.
Right, no worries. Okay, quickly download this. Once you open that, you once you click on that, you will be able to download. That means I want you to download this bin file, right? And then download it and unzip it, and then remember the place where you have it, or you can put it into any place wherever you want to have it, because we're gonna keep it for a while. And afterwards, you can go to after you download, after uncompressed, and once you save the folder in the place where you want, you can go to services tab. And if you are unable to see the services tab from the window services, you can click. Then there you will see Java DB. Right click on the Java DB, click on properties, and locate the folder which you have downloaded right now. Just a while ago, I asked you to download the folder, and once you uncompressed it, select the uncompressed folder you have just downloaded here. And for the database location, you can create any folder wherever you please, and then select that folder. Now that is to create a database, right? Afterwards, right click and then select Start Service Server. Right. Then once you right click and then select Start Server, you will see in the output window, you will see Apache Derby Network Server started and ready to accept connections. Right on port 1527. Right now, I want you to right click on the Java DB and then select Create Database. Right now, what you're going to do is you're going to create a database. Now, once you select Create Database, this database gonna save inside the folder you set as the database location. On that folder, these will get saved. Okay. Create database. I'm gonna name it as the user data, login data, login info. login info, and I'm going to provide the username as app, password as 123, and I'm going to confirm the password also 123, and then press OK. Right, in a little while, then it would create a DB called login info. Right now, it will create a database called login info, and another driver like this also will be created. Right? What you had to do is right click, select create database, type the database name, username and password, and confirm the password, and the database location would be displayed here, and then you can click OK. Right. Then afterwards, you can click on this connection here, or the driver here, and then right click and select connect. Okay, once you connect it, you can see it's connected, and once you expand it, based on the given username, we have given app, right? And then you will see a schema, and the tables, you will see nothing here. It will create a schema for us. Right now, we can create the tables whatever we feel.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Sir, మీ లింక్కి ఎవ్వట డౌన్లోడ్ ఉన్నాయి.
good question. Then search Java DB 10.2.2.0. Select this one and then download it from here. Right, it won't, is it? No one able to download, is it? Chandru, were you able to download?
Yeah, sir, I downloaded.
Sorry,
I downloaded, sir. It works.
you got all right.
Sir, may screenshot කියලා තියෙනගෙන ගන්නවා. download එකට secure කියලානවා ඉන්නේ නෑ.
No, select 10.2.2.0.
Sir, download නැහැ.
It should try from another browser. Let me repeat this again. Once you create the database, by right clicking on Java DB, by selecting create database, by providing the username, database name, username, and the password, you will see a driver like this, and then right click on that and select connect. It will appear like this. Then right click and select connect. Afterwards, you will see this, and the given username will appear here. And from here, you can go to the tables and then select create table. And let's create the table. I'm going to name it as user info, table name as user info. And I need a column. Column, I'm going to set it as username. Username, the data types I want to store is variable character varchar, and size of the username I'm going to set it as 10, and I want to set the username as unique one or the primary key, then select it as primary key and click OK. Then you will see there you have added a column called username with data type varchar. And I need another column called password, right? And the password also may contain numbers as well as letters. Therefore, I'm going to set it as varchar. You can have any size. I'm going to set the password size also up to 10 characters. And I don't want to set the password as unique. Therefore, the same password may be used, and it is not the primary key even. And here, if you select null, enable, that means it can have the null values. Therefore, I don't want to have the null values enabled. That means you need to have a password. Otherwise, you can't have that. Click OK. Now we have a username field and password field. Only two fields for this one. You can click OK. Right. Now you will see there is a table created, user info. For that table, username and password fields are there. Username is varchar10, primary key, and the password is varchar10. Right. Now we have created the table. Now it's matter of assigning some values for that, right? In order to set some values for this, you can right click on the table and then click view data. Right. If you click on the table and if you select view data, you will be able to see the values. Right now, if you type select app from app dot select all from user info, you will be able to see the values. Right now, again, I will show you how you create the table. Right, what we did was we created when once you right click, you can select create table. There you have provided the table name. I have given it as user info, and I wanted to add a column. Therefore, I have clicked on add column. Then I wanted to have a field as username and the data type as variable character or else varchar, and the size I have given as 10. If you want, you can give it as 15 or whatever. And since I wanted to have it as a primary key, I have set it as primary key. The same way, I have added another column, which is password, and the type also varchar, size you can have any size you wish. And then I have removed primary key, unique, and the null also I have removed. Therefore, because I don't want to allow null values. Okay, quickly create up to this point. right? Now, once you create the table, right, you can right click on the table and select view data. Once you select view data, it will give you select all from table name and fetch first 100 rows only. Therefore, this command will not work because we are using all the database version. Therefore, remove this fetch one fetch 100 records part, and then you can have only select all from even table name. Select all from only the table name. Select all from table name. You can have select all from table name you have given, and then click on this run SQL. Right, that would run and that would display like this. Right, because there is no values in our database table. That is why here it would display like this. Right, now it's matter of adding the records. Now you can click on this, and I'm gonna have some values. Admin, let's say ABC 1, 2, 3. All right, admin ABC 1, 2, 3, and another one I need, let's say user test 1, 2, 3. Right now I have only 2 records. You can have any number of records. Right now I'm gonna set it as admin user and Jane at 1, 2, 3. Right. I have 3 records I'm gonna add and then click OK. Once you set, like you can see, one disadvantage is even though I have named it as a password, here I am saving it as a clear text, right? Therefore, now when it comes to you, I'm not expecting for you to in your project to apply the same, because here it's not a good practice to save your usernames and passwords like in clear text format. But for this is the first exercise we are doing, just to check whether how it connects with the database. Therefore, we'll be using it. Right. Now, likewise, add some records. Let's say a few records quickly. Thereafter, create a create JFrame called login data or something, login GUI, and then have a username and user text field to get the username and password for password field. Right. Okay. Shampavi,
Yes, sir.
which part you want me to repeat, Pute?
Hello, sir. Sir, I want to repeat the adding the records in this table.
Click on this plus sign. Okay, right. Okay, here I will show you. Okay, you can right click on the table and then select view data. And then we don't need this part. Therefore, remove this part. And even this part also not required. And click on this run SQL. Then this would run. It will show you the database values, right? And thereafter, if you want to add records, you can click on this insert record. Here type the username and here type the password and click OK, right? And thereafter, create a JFrame form and there make a design for you to get the user to enter username and the password and submit sign in button as well, right? Okay, then till that, I'll give you a few minutes for that. Quickly do it. Now I want you to create a GUI here for the login GUI. We have already one, no? Previously created one. Right. Yes, I'm going to use the same thing, but I'm going to use the change the code behind for this one. Right. Right, now I'm gonna here change the coding what we have used last time. What was it? We need to get the username and the password, and thereafter the rest I'm gonna delete. We'll edit then and there. Right, now first what I want to do is, okay, let's delete it. Right, now what I want to do first is now I want to check whether first I want to check the username entered by the now here the username entered by the user is taken into the username and the password variables. No, right, that is we can kept it aside. But now what I want to do is I want to read the database and see whether I can read it. Read the values from this table. Which table? The user info table. Right, now how can I try that? Okay. For that, now I'm trying to connect to a database, right? Therefore, their database connection may not be available. There may be many issues sometimes. Therefore, we are not sure, since this is going to happen during the runtime, whether this will run perfectly or not. Therefore, there is a possibility of Java database may not available. Like for an example, if you forgot to right click and then select the Java DB as start server, if the service is not started, this won't work. Likewise, therefore, this has to be done inside the try catch block, because it may give you us an error, or we can call it as an exception. This may give us an exception during the runtime. Since this may give us an exception during the runtime, that exception should handle. Therefore, everything whatever we do, we have to put that into a try catch block. Try catch block. And we know here we are looking for that means database, the Java input output, the Java IO error, right? But now in the superclass of the exceptions is exception. Therefore, rather worrying about the subtypes of exception, I can directly call the exception class, exception E. Then any exception would be handled by here. Right now, if there is an exception, I'm gonna display the exception using exception object will get initialized. If there is an exception thrown, that will get initialized by this object E, and then here I'm gonna display e.get message. Therefore, in the console, I would be able to see the error message. Right now, I need to try connecting the database. For that, right now, first we'll have declare some variable. What is the URL? What is the URL, and what is the username and password we can remember, right? App123 I gave. Right, URL, the application, the database connection URL. Right, in order to get the database connection URL, here you can right click on this connection and then select properties. There you will see the URL. Click on this three dots icon, then click on this, select this and copy. That is the database URL. Then save the database URL. Right thereafter, we can create a connection object from java.sql package. Connection object token equals from the driver manager through the driver manager java.sql driver manager dot get connection. We need to pass the URL and the username I have given as app, right? And the password I think I have given as 123. Right now, username and the password given, right? And thereafter, we can create the statement. We have to execute a statement. Therefore, let's create a statement object from java.sql. Statement st equals connection dot create statement. Right. We need to have a query for that in order to get the values from this one. Therefore, let's create a string variable for query equals. Now we need to retrieve the values from the database. Right now, select all from user info would display all the values from the user info table. Therefore, I'm going to copy this query, and here I'm going to say you select all from user info. Right. Now, this query will return this set of values as a table. Now, this will return these values as a table. Right now, those values has to be stored. In Java, there's something called result set. The result set can be used to store values returned by a query. Right, then we have result set. You can create a result set object, result set. Result set is a table of data representing a database result set, which is usually generated by executing a statement that queries the database. Then the result set object maintains a cursor pointing to its current row of data. Initially, the cursor is positioned before the first row. Therefore, it has a method called next. The next method moves the cursor to the next row, and it returns false when there are no more rows in the result set object. Therefore, using a while loop, using result set object or next method, you can iterate through the result set. Then result set object, I'm going to name it as rs equals, we need to execute the query. Then statement object dot execute query, we can execute the QRY query. We can execute the query. Like even you don't have to put that into a fold another variable. Like you can directly paste it here. Right. Select all from using. Right now, if we are able to do this successfully, now this would execute this query, and this query will return the table values of the user info. Then using a while loop, I'm going to try out what are the values I have. Therefore, I'm going to use while result set dot next, because initially the result set pointer is one below, that means minus one index we have. If there are values, then next method will return true and then move the cursor to the next. Right now, once it moves to the cursor to the next, I'm going to display the values of the string system.out.println. I'm going to print what? rs dot username. I'm going to display rs dot get. You can get the value we can get using get string. Get string using the column label or the column index as well, you can get it. Right now, let's try to get it by column index. Let's say 0th column and the first column. Right now, let's run this and see how this works. Right now, now in order to work on this, you have to click on the button 1, right? Therefore, if you click on the button 1, here it doesn't matter what you have typed here. If you click on the button 1, it should do it. Right now, here it has given us an error because we have an exception handler, and the handler gave us saying there is no driver found for JDBC Derby 1527. There is no driver found. Right. Now then, for this one, for this database URL, for this address, there is no driver found. That's what the error gave us. For that, we need to do something new as well. Therefore, now that is previously we would have uploaded, we would have attached the JRE file, jar file, the Java library to the project, but now we don't have to. Now we can add a repository. Right, therefore quickly do up to this point. Thereafter, I will show you how to add the Java Maven repository for this. Quickly do it. Right. Then the problem here is now the driver is not available. Then the driver not found. That's the error we got, right? Therefore, I want you to search for Maven repository. For Maven repository for 10.2.2.0. Right now, the version we have the version we have is the database version is 10.2.2.0. Therefore, we'll search for Maven repository 10.2.2.0 for the Derby client. So right now here, let's find the Derby client, Apache Derby client JDBC driver. Right now, I'm gonna send it to you via chat again to everyone. Right? You can go into this and then you can find the Java Derby client driver Maven repository. Right? Then you can copy this. Once you click, this will get copied. Right? Now take a copy of this. Now even I will send it to you via chat. This is what you need to copy. Right. After you copy this, okay, quickly take a copy of this. And then in your project, there is, okay, go to the project and you will see project files at the bottom. There you will see pom.xml, right? There you see pom.xml, right? Now there, open another tab called dependencies and then close the dependencies tab, right? You have to open a tag called dependencies and close it, and then paste what you have copied, right? And then let me format it. Right now, this is what I have created a tag called dependencies, and then I have copied what I have copied from Maven repository. Right now, this is to set it as um, um, we'll be use the Derby client driver for 10.2.2.0. Right. Once you do this, again, let's go back to the project and then try clicking on the login GUI. Right. Once you click on the login button there, here, now here you will get another error. Now that means it is connected now. Now you will be getting a different error. Right now, that is because of here in the login GUI, if you get back to the login GUI, here you will see I'm trying to get the string by column index 0, but there is no such index called 0. Therefore, you have to start from 1 and 2. There are 2 columns. Now that's what the error says. There are 2 columns. 0 is out of the range. Therefore, first column and the second column. First column and the second column. Right. Change this into first and second. And thereafter, again, you can click on the login button and then see what is the error you are getting, whether you are getting any error. But now you can see no errors are there. You can see the usernames and the passwords. Right now, this is what we wanted to display. Right. Therefore, we can get the username and the password. Right now, it's a matter of writing the if condition. Now we know the database username and password, we can get it here. And now the user type username and password we have taken up to here. Now it's a matter of writing the code, what to do next. Right. Therefore, quickly write the if condition by yourself. Now you know we can get it. Right. Now again, I will show you what we did. Previously, we had the issue of Java Derby client driver was not found. For that, we have taken a copy of the dependency from the Maven repository for Derby client 10.2.2.0, 2.2.0, and we have opened the tag dependencies and we have closed the tag dependencies, and in between we have placed what we have copied. And thereafter, in here we have put initially we have put it as 0, therefore we have changed it to 1. First column and the second column. First column values and the second column values will return by this then. And thereafter you can run it, and once you click on the button, you will be able to see.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes,
Sir, can you please show the top of the code in this code?
this one.
Yeah, sir.
This is the only code.
Sir,
Is
it gives me an error for connection, the reference connection statement and result set.
Okay, because right now if we have just typed everything for there, this will happen. Right now, this is what. Okay, now let's say I'm not gonna. I think you may have seen this. Right now, let's say I did not type these. No, right now how I get these things. Right now, that's why when you are using an IDE. Right now, if you are typing connection, right now you have to just type the halfway, and then you can press the control space and you will see the options, right? Then
Yeah.
here connection, and then just double click on this java.sql. When you double click on this, it will automatically add it. But if you just type it, now here I have typed this, but the typing this won't create the import statement, right? If I want to get this, let's say driver manager, you can just select the driver manager java.sql, press enter or double click. For the statement, the same. Statement or JavaScript. The result set also the same. Now this would create the import statements eventually. Is that clear?
Yeah, sir. What is the shortcut, please? Say?
Sorry?
Shortcut key. What is the shortcut key?
Control space.
Control space. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Quickly do it now. Now I want you to try it right in the if condition. Like now, I have taken this is the username. Right now, let me create a variable called string. U means the username at that time. Add for this the row, and P means the password. Username and the password. Username and the password is in this U and P. UN and PW variables contains what user has typed. Now this loop will run, and each time you will get its username and T will get its password. Then you have to check with UN and PW. And if it is matching, you need to say username and password match, or not likewise, you need to do it. Quickly do for the rest. I'll give you a few minutes. Now we wanted to check with the what user has entered and what's available in the database. No, right now we have taken it up to this point, right? And right, then let's say we can check if the username we don't mind about the case equals ignore case with User enter now database value view. And we can set like this, and with the username, and if the password dot equals with the p, if both are matching true, then we can say we can display if un dot equals ignore this. This is okay. So we need another pattern. And then that is password correct now. We can display a message option. J option pane dot show message dialog. Can say access granted. Access granted. Right? Access granted. So what you can say? Welcome. Login successful or something. You can have any message, whatever, welcome. So say welcome username. Right. And I can have a break just to stop this. And I'm going to declare a variable called Boolean variable. Flag is equals false. And I'm going to make it as true. Right. If the after this while loop, at the end of the while loop, if the flag, if not true, that means not true mean not if it is not false means true. No, if it is false, that means you have not met the password and username are not set. Then I'm gonna saying try again. Invalid user credentials. Right. It would say invalid user credentials. Right. Try again. Invalid user credentials. Right. That's what it's gonna do now. And I'm gonna call right now from the design here the clear button. We have not done it yet. Then I'm gonna make sure JText means one dot set text into empty and JPassword field dot set text into empty. And I want to focus the cursor to appear on the text field. Therefore, I'm going to say request focus. Right. And afterwards, after displaying the condition here, I'm gonna call the button to action performed event, which will clear this. Right now, let's try this one. How it's gonna work out. Right now, I'm gonna type admin and some password. It's gonna say try again, invalid user credentials. And when I click OK, it will reset it. Now let's check admin ABC123. I type admin ABC123 and login. It says welcome admin, and that's it. Right now, because we haven't done anything yet right now, because at the end this will reset. And if the username is correct, and if you don't want to display this, and then you could say this dot set visible false. Right now, if you have entered the correct username and password, then using this dot set visible false will hide uh, this frame. That means our username and password fields will get hidden. Right now, if you enter the correct one, admin ABC123, now this will hide this. It will display welcome admin, that's it. But the program is running, you can see here. Right. Now, okay, quickly complete up to this point. Now, if you want to, if the username and password is correct, and if you want to open this, the last week, what we have created, from the main menu there, from the main method there, you could copy this line, new dot item store, and set dot set visible true. That part you can take, and here, okay, where I have put this dot set visible false. Right, so we have to put it here. This dot set visible false, not from here. It has to be here. We can display the new item store.gui, and then we can set it true, display true, and we can hide this one. Right now, if you run this, it will open this, and then if you type the correct username and the password ABC123, now this will hide this username and password field, and it will open this one. Right now, whatever we have done last time would be displayed here. Right. Okay, quickly complete up to this point.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So now, do we need the SAM server to connect database to NetBeans?
Sorry.
Do we need SAM servers now to
No,
connect
no, we don't need
databases?
any SAM servers. No, we have not used any servers. We have only used this under the NetBeans IDE, this Java DB service only. We did not use any other service. Okay, we are only using this.
Okay.
That's why I am doing this, because we don't have to install any other applications for try this application. We have created a new JFrame form called new items to GUI, and there I'm going to get a table. And for this table, I'm going to set the values to the table. And let's see how to load the values to the table. Okay, first, okay, we'll have it first. We'll see, we'll have the item ID, item name, item ID, item name, and the price, and the quantity. Right, we'll have this quickly. And a button to insert, update and delete. Insert, update and then delete. And we'll have the label called search. And we'll have text field. Right. Okay, quickly do the design and then thereafter we'll see how to insert, update, delete this and how to create a table and so on. Right now, I want to add another JFrame as well, which I'm gonna call it as language GUI. Language GUI and click finish. Right. Then here I'm gonna say select a language. Select the language, and you're gonna have some, let's say 3 buttons we're gonna have. You're gonna have English, German, and French. English, German, and French. And now, based on the use entered value, then first I'm gonna display this one, and then based on the use entered selected language, it's gonna display the login GUI, and thereafter it's gonna display this new item store GUI. Right now, that is what I'm planning to do today, and then the next day we will try how to load these values and insert, update, delete for these. Right. We quickly do these 2 designs. In the meantime, if you have questions, please ask. We have just created the language selection one. Now I want to make sure when I run this project, from this run project button, it should display this. It should run this language. Let me set the title as well. Language. Language selection. Right now, here, now what I want to do is, right now, initially when I run this, it has to select this. It has to run this. Therefore, right click on the project and then select properties. And from the run, select the main class as the language GUI. Right now, I'm going to set the main class as the language GUI. Right now, when I run this, when I click English, it has to go to the username and password field. It has to go to the this login GUI. It has to open up the login GUI. That's the login GUI here. Sorry. It has to open up the login GUI and display the username and password in the selected language, right? Okay. Now, remember this. Now we are going to do the internationalization, right? Therefore, keep this, remember the steps, what you're gonna do now. I'm gonna, right now, mainly, right, if you are doing this, right now, I'm strongly recommend you to keep a copy of your project aside. Therefore, if you do a mistake, and then you can discard it and you can use the copy, right? Therefore, you cannot undo, right? Therefore, you have to make a copy if you want to try it out right now. Otherwise, you have to do everything from the beginning, right? Therefore, it's better to take a copy of your project and leave it aside. But now what I'm going to do here is, right, I'm going to change the languages, right? Not from this one. And for the login GUI, I want to enable the languages, right? Now, therefore, go to the design, right? and select the J-frame, and then from the navigator view. If you don't see the navigator view, click on Windows Navigator, and from there select the topmost form login GUI. Click on this. Right. Once you click on that, from the properties here, it would display here. If not, you can right click and select properties. Then the same thing would be appeared here. Then remember, right, make sure you have a copy of your project. Okay. Now I'm gonna set automatic internationalization enable. Right now you can see there was nothing called bundle. Right now it's gonna create another file called bundle once I make this enable. I'm gonna make automatic internationalization enable. You can see bundle file or the property file created for me. Right, click close. Okay, and the same way, go to the item store GUI as well, to the design. Not this one, new item store GUI, this one. Right, now for this one also, select the navigator, select the topmost one, right click and select properties, and then select automatic internationalization enabled and click close. Right now we have enabled automatic internationalization for login GUI and new item store GUI. Right. Then here in the bundle file, if you open the bundle file, you can see all the components available in login GUI and the item store GUI would display here. If you close it, it would ask you to save. Remember to click save. If you discard, these will discard it. Therefore, click save, even though you don't do any change. Right now, thereafter, it's a matter of changing the languages for us. Right, therefore, right click on the bundle file, right click on the bundle file, select add locally. Right now, we need to convert in two languages, right? German and French. Therefore, select the locally for German, German. Right, German, German, DED, and click OK. Right. And then if you open the German Germany, right now you will see there is another bundle file added, DED. Right, then you can have the Google Translator, English to German translator. Right. English to German translator, you can copy this username and you can paste it. And here you have user login. Let's quickly translate. Clear. And password. Quantity. Item name. item ID, and then delete. Data. Right. Then you can save this. That is for German translations. And you can do the same thing for French as well. For that, you can right click on the button file, select add locally, select French France, FR. Then new bundle file would create it, called bundle FR, and then open it. And again, then you need to translate it to French. Right. Right. Three more to go. Last use the name. Right. Now, like this, you can get the translations done. And then you can save it. Right. Now what I want to do is, we are done with this now. Right. Now, if you click on this button, now which button? If you click on the English button here, it should go to the English. If you select the German, it should go to German. If you select French, it should open in the French view. All right, okay. Then the login GUI first. Okay, get back to the login GUI, go to the source, right? Let's overload the constructor. Let's overload the constructor here, and to accept a locally file, right? To accept a locally java.util locally, right? Locally file, I'm gonna say it as local. Right, then I'm gonna set this as this dot set default locally dot set default, is it? Locally dot set default locally as a local. Right. Locally dot set default locally as a local. Right now that is what you need to type. Right. Locally dot set default locally as the local. Right. Okay. And thereafter we need to pass the locally to the language you. From if you click on English right now, what we need to do here for this main method, we need to pass this. Right. If you click on English right now, we need to pass or call the login GUI with we need to pass a new locally. Right now, we have to pass ENUS. And set.visible true. If you want, you can hide this dot set visible false. If you want, you can do it later. Right. And the same thing I'm gonna copy here. And we're gonna double click on German. If it is a German, we need to call, you can see from here as well, bundle file as well, DE. And the same thing we're gonna do for the French, FR. Right. Right now we are done with this thing, and let's see how the language UI works and then how it works. Right. For that, you can select run file from the language UI. Then it would load the language selection one, right? And then if you click English, now we are getting an error saying it cannot find the bundle. Right now, since it cannot find the bundle, resource bundle, then missing resource exception. Right now, we are getting an error for this. Right now, for that, we need to do a small tweak. Right, click on the project and create a new folder. Right, create a new folder and rename it as src/main/resources. 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 And then create the folder, and then you can drag and drop the bundle file into there. Right now, where's the file? Slash slash src/main/resources. Right. Okay. Now you will see the folder is there. src/main/resources. Right, then drag and drop the bundle files into that. Drag and drop the bundle files into the resources folder, and thereafter, once you drag and drop the bundle files into the folder you created, then go to the login GUI from the design. Here, right click and select properties there, and property bundle file. Select the property files, main, resources, bundle file. Click OK, and then click close, and then run it and see how it works. Right, we'll see. Click properties, the bundle file is from. Right. Now this is what we have to do. Right now, when you're creating the folder, now remember, again, right now, right click on the project and then select new folder and then type src/main/resources. src/main/resources. Right, do not select the parent folder. In the project, Maven project, select src/main/resources, and then that will add a folder under other sources, right? Then drag and drop your all the bundle files into that folder, then that would appear like this. Thereafter, right click on your project, JFrame, and then form, and then select properties, and then select the bundle file. Select the bundle file from there. Select the bundle file from the this location. Right now, here you can see here. If you double click on the full path, you will see the bundle file. Click on the bundle.properties file. Right, thereafter, if you run this, let me close this. Right now, if you run this, now it should display the initially language selection one. It should display this, right? Now, if you select English, it should display this. And if you select German, then it should display in the German language. If you select French, right now it should display in the French language. Right now, thereafter, now it's matter of like if you enter the correct username and password, right now, admin ABC123, like as if you enter the correct username and password, and now we want to display the new store, right? That new item store, this one. Right now, let's go and do the thing. Right now, what you have to do first again is right in the login GUI, what we have done here. The same thing we have to do again. Right, now what we have to do, go to the new item store GUI, go to the source and copy and paste the constructor, and let's overload by passing a locally file, locally LCL, whatever, and then change the default locally into locally from java.util dot set default into the locally you are passing, right? And then this is what you need to do. Right, now again, this is what we did now. Then here, right now we have small concern now, because from the login GUI, language GUI called the login GUI. In the login GUI at the beginning, I'm getting the locally. Right now, for the constructor, I'm getting the locally. Therefore, here I'm going to create a locally LCL locally variable, and let's type locally variable, and then at the constructor here I'm gonna assign the locally variable as the whatever the value I'm getting here, because here for the LCL variable I'm gonna assign this parameter. Right, thereafter when the user enter the username and the password, if it is correct, right, now I don't want to call the new items. I want to call the which are new items store GUI. Therefore, from the main method, I'm going to make a copy of this new items store GUI, and there I'm going to replace this into new item store GUI. The set visible true. But here we need to pass. Now we need to pass the locally variable. Therefore, I'm going to pass the locally variable. Here I have created with the locally I have taken by this constructor, the local variable that I'm going to pass into here. Then this one, based on this, it will pass into the new item store GUI from the constructor here. Then it will change the local. Right now, and I don't want to display the after I select a language, I don't want to display this one. Therefore, I'm going to set this dot set visible false. This dot set visible false. I'm going to set it as this dot set visible false, and right now I'm going to set this dot set visible false. Right now, if you run this, you'll be able to see how it's going to work. Right now, initially it would ask to select the language, then that would be hidden. And now English, you can, if you close it, right, everything will be closed. Right now, let's try with another language and see how it works. Right now, if you select German, right now, this would display this. And then if you enter the correct username, ABC123, and if you log in, now it says welcome admin, and then it would take you to the next one. Why can't find bundle for GUI bundle local DED, right? That is because it cannot find the bundle file, right? Again, we have to do one more change. Go to the new item store GUI, the design, right? Go to the design. We didn't do this step now. Right click on this form file and select properties. And from the bundle file, select now like previously, select the full path, double click on it, select the bundle file and click OK. Right now, then only bundle file will get updated. Now this would translate the correctly as we require. Right, let's run this again and see. Right now, if you select German, it would display this and admin ABC123 and invalid username and password admin ABC123. Previous, okay, welcome That's correct. Now you can see here, it would display in German language. Right now, closing this would close the entire process. Right now, please try this out. And the next day, also I'll be starting from the beginning. Right now, similar interface. If you have this, if you create this again, it will be easier for us to start then. Right now, next day I'm gonna show you how to display a variable and then display the date and time in different language like localization and interstitiation, and how to load the values into a table. And when you select a value from this table, how to load those values into these text fields, and how you insert a new record, how you update a record, how you delete a record, and how you search. Those things I'm gonna show you on the next day. Right. That's it. If you have any questions, you can ask now. Other than that, that's it from my end.